Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And today we're going to preview the WNBA playoffs, the Indiana Fever versus the Connecticut Sun, starting Sunday at 3 o'clock on ABC. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next videos. If you like Caitlin Clark, subscribe to our channel. If you like playoff basketball, subscribe to our channel. Anyways, so this is the first time the Indiana Fever has been in the playoffs since 2015. Caitlin Clark led them into the playoffs, I think. I think Kelsey Mitchell and Leah Boston helped out a lot, but Caitlin Clark was the difference. And so I think the whole Indiana Fever organization is very excited. I'm not in Indiana. I'm just a Caitlin Clark fan and turned into an Indiana Fever fan. In fact, I got the fever, Rob. I'm ready for the playoffs.
Mark, you said we don't disagree enough. I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. I think Coach Sides got them into the playoffs.
You think who did? Coach Sides?
Yes. Right. She's the main reason why they're in the playoffs, Mark.
So the men in the white coats are going to come and take Rob away. That's why he's got a white shirt on right now.
Clark and Mitchell kind of sort of did it, but besides the decision making of substitution and overall coaching, definitely brought them into the playoffs.
Her ability to always know when to call a timeout, Rob?
Yes.
Someone yesterday in the thread when we were doing the game live said she's a momentum killer. And that it has to do with the fact that she is so bad at when to call and so bad on how to do substitutions. She's a momentum killer. And she is. And I hope that doesn't happen in the playoffs, because here's the thing with the playoffs, Rob. Not only is the other team going to have more talent than the Fever, they're going to have a much better coach, and no matter what round they play, probably.
Right.
So that doesn't give me a lot of confidence. And ESPN, 3 people made predictions, and 2 said it would go 3 games, and 1 said it would be a sweep. That's fair. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think it'll be a sweep. I think they're going to find a way to win one of the first 2 games. Caitlin Clark has a hot game. All you need is Mitchell or Boston to also have a hot game, and the same thing. They usually win. So we'll see.
Well, with Caitlin Clark, Mark, you always have that factor right in there. Right there is a factor of winning a game, because she is so, even though some people say she's not dominant, she can be a dominant player with her passing and scoring and get the team going. And that's what I wanted to point out, is that they do have a chance against Connecticut. They can, I mean, I don't think it'll be a surprise. I mean, it'd be kind of a big upset if they defeated them and went on to the next round. But for me, I don't think it'd be too much of a surprise with the way Clark and Mitchell plays.
I think they're capable of beating any team, even in a series. I think it would take a lot to beat someone like the Liberty in a series, or even the Lynx in a series. But it's still possible. They could beat them on any given night if they just get hot, like they're capable of. But I don't have any confidence they're going to do that in the playoffs, even if they win this round, because they're so inconsistent. And they're not going to suddenly learn how to stop the 3-point shot and allow these people to be wide open on 3-point shots. They're not going to be allowed to figure out, well, we're playing really great offense, up-tempo. Let's continue that the whole game. They seem not to be doing that. And then they're going to get out-coached. So, I don't know. I won't be surprised if they win any series, because the talent is on that team, and the fact that Caitlin Clark playing up-tempo offense is really difficult for any team to deal with. If they can just figure out to play that the whole game, that's going to be really give an advantage there. But they don't have the depth for that right now either.
Yeah, so they'll have to play a complete game on offense and defense, like you said. Their perimeter defense has to step up. And they're going to have to hope that the Sun don't hit those outside shots, but they're playing at home, so they're used to it. But all they have to do is just come out a little further on the defense and defend their person. And then, like I said, don't get in that. If they can run their half-court offense, last game you stated in the first quarter they actually had movement. So if they can kind of keep that movement, if it comes to a half-court offense, they can give. I mean, like we've been saying, they're a team that you really wouldn't want to play in the playoffs.
No, I don't think any team wants to play him because they know that even though they have a little bit more talent and better coaching, they know that this team is dangerous because they saw what they could do after the Olympic break. And they'd beaten every team but the Aces. And the Aces, they wouldn't meet to the finals anyways. And the Aces would have to beat the Liberty for that to happen. Mm-hmm. So Connecticut Sun and the Fever, it's 3-1 for the series. They played 4 times this year. Connecticut won 3. The first game was the first game of the year, and they got crushed. The Fever got crushed by 21 points. They played a week later, and it was a different case. They only lost by 4. It was a close game. With a better coach, they probably would have won that game. And then they didn't play again until June 10th, and Connecticut won again, this time by 17. And then the next time they played, August 28th, the Fever won a close game by 4. So, hey, they won the last time they played. That should give them some confidence, Rob, going into the playoffs, I would think.
Right, yeah. And in that game, Mitchell played well. She had like 23 points. As far as defense and also in offense, they played pretty well against them.
My concern.
But the main factor I know is Connecticut.
The reason I'm not predicting them to win the series is, even though it won't surprise me, is a couple of reasons. The ones that we already went over: they have an inferior coach, they have no defense to stop threes, and their half-court offense is terrible. Although it was really good for 5 minutes in their last game. But the other thing that makes me hesitate is Dejanay Carrington is an excellent defender, and she's given Clark a hard time all 4 times they played. So it might come down to the refs too. Also, another reason is I don't think the refs are going to give Indiana Fever a fair shake in the playoffs because they haven't all year. Why would they change now? People, the league doesn't want to see Caitlin Clark to be successful. Everyone surrounding the league basically doesn't want Caitlin Clark to be successful because they want to hold her down for whatever reason. You can read into it. So I don't think the refs are going to give them a fair shake in the playoffs, and so that's going to make it difficult to win. Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, I think you're right, Mark. I think you're right. Because the Fever hadn't been to playoffs in a while, and that's another factor. A lot of players have. Coach Sides is right with one thing. A lot of players have never been in a playoff game, so it's different. So there's a little more pressure then, but they have the advantage because this is like a new season. Everything starts all over again. All those. I mean, you've seen that in all sports. That the teams have played each other and they've beaten them, and then when the playoffs, the team plays them hard. So that's why there's a factor there where that's why I kind of think the Fever won't be so easy for the Sun. If they take them lightly, they're going to be in trouble.
Right. I watched all 40 games, and I would say the refs were terrible in 38 out of them, 38 out of 40, and they were anti-Fever like 3/4 of the time. Maybe 1/4 of the time they were fair. And none of the times that I saw, they were favorable towards the Fever. And I don't think that's ever going to happen as long as Caitlin Clark's playing in the league, whatever team she's on. I just don't get the impression they're afraid to make calls in her favor because they're going to say, oh, you're favoring the golden child or whatever. And I think that she's going to have that disadvantage. It's just the opposite in the NBA. Once the person becomes a star, they get the benefit of the calls. I don't think this is going to happen. So that's why I think they're at a disadvantage. Caitlin Clark will be at a disadvantage her entire career, especially in the playoffs. But we'll see. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe they'll get some new refs who don't feel like they have to protect this establishment in the league. You can read into that however you want.
Right.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
that's my hesitation. Those are all the reasons for I'm hesitating, predicting them to win. I think they're capable of beating any team in any kind of series, even though I think their odds are against someone like as good as the Liberty. But we'll see. We'll see. When they're gelling, when they're clicking, they're dangerous. And they've shown that since the Olympic break.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. And Caitlin Clark is going to need 2 good games out of 3, like really good games out of 3 for them to win that. She can't have an average game and expect them to win.
Well, hopefully she'll play like she did when she was in college. She thrived on that pressure of being in competition against trying to win a game that's important. These games are very important. The playoff game is exciting for her, so that's when she kind of steps up and has a good game.
And even though this is a weird format, and I think it's unfair to have both games at home for the higher seeded team, if you win one of them, Rob, now you got the home deciding game at home. So that's a big deal if you can win one. So,
well, like we said before, even though it's a home game for Connecticut, it's not really a home game because you know you're going to have the Caitlin Clark fans in the stand.
yeah, it's more like a neutral thing. So I think this kind of favors the Fever a little bit because of the fact that they don't really have any away games. They have neutral games, which are away games theoretically, and then they have home games, which are really home games. They have that advantage. I think Temi should start because they're going to need her defense because they have a very good front line, Connecticut. They have Dewana Bonner, Brianna Jones, and Alyssa Thomas. Now, she's not a big-time scorer, Alyssa Thomas, but she's a very good player. Brianna Jones and Bonner can score, and they're going to need the defense for that. But, of course, that won't happen. You know that Smith is going to start. So, Marina Mabry, I don't know if she's going to start or not, but that was a big addition for them.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see what happens. She's going to be have to be covered by somebody, Rob. She's a good three-point shooter. And
yeah,
as you know, that's a problem for them because they don't want to seem to be on the three-point shooter.
Yeah, they seem to like they have the waving defense when it comes to playing people on the outside. They're waving them, hey, nice shot.
Right. So Smith's going to have to play better than she has, or they have no chance because they got three good front court players. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm not sure how they're going to match them up now. Whatever's proper size won't figure it out.
Yeah. Well, you mean if it makes sense?
Yeah, she won't be able to figure it out. So we'll see what happens. So, anyways, let us know what you think their chances are. I think their chances are less than 50%, but I don't think it'd be a shock or a surprise for them to win, right, especially in a short series like this where they have the advantage of really having no away games because Caitlin Clark draws so many fans to root for them.
Right.
But for all the reasons we gave, I wouldn't bet on them winning the series. And if they do win this series, they're probably going to get the Minnesota Lynx almost assuredly, and that's even a tougher matchup for them.
Mm-hmm.
So because they're going to be really outcoached then. So we'll find out. All right. So join us Sunday, 3:00 on ABC. And also on Wednesday night is game 2. And that will be on ESPN at 7:30. Our normal live show is Monday, 6 to 8 Eastern time, except for major holidays. We'll discuss the game the day before, and we'll discuss football also. So join us for that. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for?
Almost there.
We're getting close to 5,000 subscribers. We need your help. We've only been around since April. And thanks for the support, by the way, to all the people that have supported us since then. We really appreciate you helping us out. Mm-hmm. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to donate to our channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below and a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
All right. Peace out.